everyone, it's Elena, and today I'll be doing a little review of my first term here at the University of Cambridge. I'm a law student at St. John's College, and I'm going to start with workload and academics because I think that's the thing that most people think of when they think of Cambridge. But I'm also going to talk about my extracurriculars, social life, and the housing and the accommodations here. Now, regarding workload and academics, I can say that this is probably the most intense academic course I've ever done. Like, you do so much in so little time because our term is only 8 weeks, but there's so much content that is covered in these 8 weeks, it's crazy. And for law, it's especially difficult because law is a subject that you usually haven't studied before coming to university. So you are learning about the law, but at the same time you're also learning how to study law because you don't really know how to approach the subject yet. But I do think we've gotten great support at my college because even before we started the course, we already had a session on how to study and how to write an essay, and we had a mock supervision. Now, supervisions are fortnightly meetings with your supervisor, which is either a PhD student or a fellow, and they go through readings and problem questions that they set for you, and that just really helps to consolidate your knowledge on a topic. And we had a mock supervision and before we even started the course, so we had some readings set before coming to Cambridge, and I think this really helped because it just gave us a good idea of what is expected of us for supervision, how to approach the material, and it just really helped and, you know, made you less scared of your first real supervision. As a first year law student, we have to take 4 courses, and then there's a half paper, but that half paper is about methodology and skills, and that course has basically gone to sleep after 3 introductory lectures on our first day, where we were told not to take notes, so I guess they were not that relevant. And basically the course is going to reawake during second term, and then we're going to have a few more sessions and we have to write a paper, which is fail pass, and that's it. So the more important ones are the other 4 courses, and those are constitutional law, civil law, criminal law, and tort law. I really like them, except maybe for civil law. Civil law is quite complicated. It's ancient law, so you don't really know exactly what was the rule for everything because we only have limited evidence. So for those of you guys who don't know, civil law is Roman law, and it's really hard sometimes to really know what is going on in the course, because a lot of times when you do have a question, like when you think you understand something, you're like, okay, so wait, but what if this particular situation happened? And you just don't know because you don't have evidence, and that's a little bit frustrating. But I was told by my second year that apparently Roman law confuses everybody in first term, starts to make sense in second term, and then you will love it in third term. And I hope this will be true for my year because right now we're all a little bit confused. Other than that, I really love my course, and what I found so amazing is that when you read academic papers from people who are, you know, very respected academics in the field, and then you go to a lecture and the person who wrote that paper is your lecturer, and you just sit there and you're like, wow. I mean, this is just crazy sometimes because you read their books and their journal articles and, you know, you debate about their ideas, and then they just walk into your lecture hall and tell you more about it, and that's just really cool, and I absolutely love that. And I really enjoyed my supervisions because I think they just really helped me to, you know, think about what is my opinion on this, and to also fully understand academics' arguments and to point out things that I probably would have missed had I just worked through the material by myself. Now, there is a lot of work to be done in law, and my college recommends 40 hours of work outside supervisions and lectures for students, and I think 40 hours a week, that is very ambitious, and I think then you just do law. Like, there's nothing else that you're doing, and I don't think that's very healthy. And I do think you can generally deal with the workload with under 40 hours, but you do need to work a lot for law, obviously. I did a video on time management. If you guys are interested in that, I'm gonna link it up there, and you guys can just click on that. But generally, I do think if you manage your time well, you don't need to work 40 hours a week because that is just way too much, because I think you do need to do some extracurriculars or at least go out with friends in order to just maintain your mental health. Now, we have around 12 hours of lectures a week, and then we have 2 supervisions a week, which are 1 hour. We also have 1 essay a week because we need to hand in 2 essays per supervisor per term. So that's how we get to that 1 essay a week. I also took an optional extra class, which is animal rights law, and I absolutely love the class. It's just 1 hour a week, but we have set reading before, but I really enjoy the class because it's a relatively new field for research. Not many people are working in animal rights law as academics who are researching the field, but to be honest, I think it's really important as a field, and the lecturers are just amazing, and they're teaching it in a really great way. And what's even more exciting is that that I'm actually working on a paper with another student and the professor teaching the course. And this is just so cool because I'm literally an undergraduate student in my first year, and I don't think I would have gotten the opportunity to do research that early in my degree anywhere else. So that's really, really cool. I mean, I have no idea how our paper is going to turn out and if it's even going to be good, but just the opportunity to work on this as a first year student is really, really amazing, and I'm super, super grateful for it. Now, one thing I should say about academics though is that university is a very different way of grading people, and I had to get used to that because in high school they usually tell you what you did well in and then they sugarcoat what you didn't do so well in. Here it's like, okay, you did well in this, but it's like one sentence thing, and then all the things that you missed or you weren't good at, and this can be like really, really frustrating because you just feel like you failed. And I remember reading my supervision reports at the end of the term and I felt like an absolute failure, and then I went to my meeting with my director of studies, and then I also had a meeting with my tutor, and I told them, well, okay, I know my supervision reports weren't great, please don't kick me out. And my director of studies and my tutor were like, what are you talking about? Those were quite good supervision reports. And I'm like, did we read the same report? Because it doesn't feel like it. And they were like, yeah, like, you know, like in university we are going to be more critical of you, and we do want to show you where you can improve instead of, you know, just telling you where you already did great in. But you know, at times you just want to hear that you did something good. And I remember when I first read my supervision reports, I just felt like such a failure. But when I heard that those were actually not bad supervision reports, I felt a lot better. But to be honest, I was quite scared when I first read it. And I think this is something I'm still getting used to, like how different you are graded and assessed in university, and then like how they give feedback, because it's just quite different. But I think I'm going to be used to this by the end of second term. Okay, let's move on to extracurriculars. Now, I did an entire video on all the extracurriculars I'm doing because I'm doing quite a lot. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm going to link it up there for you and in the info box below, so you can just click on that. But I did a total of 8 extracurriculars, and I was on a committee of 2 societies, and I absolutely love doing my extracurriculars. I find extracurriculars are a great way of just, you know, getting your mind off your degree, and I think this is really, really important. Like, especially for a degree as intense as law, you shouldn't just be doing law. Okay, you need something else in your life, and that's why I love doing extracurriculars. You meet new people, you make new friends, and you just have a few hours to yourself where you're not thinking about your degree or passing that exam, and that's why I absolutely loved it. Now, I'm doing a lot of extracurriculars, so I didn't have as much free time for, you know, just chilling on my bed, watching Netflix, etc. But I do think that for me it was really, really rewarding, and I don't regret taking them. Since I did an entire video on extracurriculars, I'm keeping it short and we're moving on to social life. Now, a lot of people come to Cambridge and they're scared, like whether they can actually have a social life and go out and party and stuff, and you can definitely do that. Now, personally, I'm not someone who goes out really, because I'm someone who's just a lot more comfortable being on my bed, you know, with some fries and a good Netflix movie. So yeah, that's just my preference. But I do know people in my college who are in my degree who are going out at least once a week, and they're doing absolutely fine, so you can definitely do that. Now, one of the things that I do find a little bit concerning about Cambridge is that I do feel like if you are not as financially well off, it can be harder for you to, you know, go for all the social things. And I think I'm saying this because I came from a high school where it was really, really important that regardless of your socioeconomic background, you could join all activities, which is why we never had to pay for any of these activities. And I do think, you know, obviously university is going to be a little bit different, but for me, I was just shocked by the fact that you have to pay your way into many societies. They charge you, and I mean, the Cambridge Union charges you over £100, which is a little bit excessive in my opinion for society membership. And if you're a student who is here on a bursary, it can be really, really hard to afford that. I managed not to really spend a lot of money on, you know, joining societies or anything. I think the only society I joined where I actually had to pay was Cambridge University Rifle Association, but you're paying them because they need to maintain their equipment. But you can also just do some stuff with your friends. I made a few friends in my course and also outside my course, and one of my favorite things to do, I did this with a friend quite a few times. We just went to McDonald's, got a lot of food, came back to my room, started watching some romantic comedy on Netflix, ate all of that McDonald's food, and and enjoyed the movie. We were like screaming, crying and laughing through it, and then we usually just fell into a food coma on my bed. And we did this quite a few times, and it was just so enjoyable, and I love it. Although I do have to say, my friend is committed to get me off my McDonald's addiction, because I go to McDonald's way too many times, and I know it, but I really like the food. So yeah, and the people on my course are so lovely and adorable, and I'm so grateful that I have them as my peers. I especially realized this when I was ill for a few days and I couldn't go to lectures, and I had a fever, and it was just really bad. I was just in my room and I literally just slept. Like, I think in 48 hours I probably slept like 40 hours. So yeah, I really wasn't doing well. And they all, you know, sent me their notes from lectures. One of them went grocery shopping for me, the other one went to the pharmacy, and they just all came by and checked that I was doing fine, and I was just so grateful for all of them, and it just showed me how supportive they are, and I'm just so grateful to have them. Okay, let's get to the most important thing, food. So the food in my college is actually really good. I mean, I came from a boarding school where the food was like okay, but it wasn't that great. But coming to Cambridge, I was just so excited by the food in the buttery. Like, oh my god, it's just amazing. I love it. I really love it. And obviously we also have formals. So formals are very formal dinners that we have in a formal hall, which looks very fancy, and you have to wear your gown and you have to dress up, and it's really cool. It's a 3-course meal, and that's like a special occasion when you go there. You can book that at almost any day during the week. Talking about cooking, my flatmate and I have a kitchen to ourselves in our apartment. It's super small, so yeah, but you can definitely cook there. We also have our bathroom that only the 2 of us share, which is great, and each of us has their own room, and my room is super big. Like, I was so surprised when I came here and I realized what a great room I got. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I came from a boarding school where I shared a room with 3 other girls, and I had a corner in that room to myself, and now I have a huge room to myself, and that's just really cool, and I absolutely love my room. And they do spoil us quite a bit, because we have people called bedders, and they come once a week and they clean our bathrooms, our kitchens and our rooms for us, and that's just great because we don't have to do it ourselves, and I'm just so grateful for them. But I do feel like it makes you be less independent. Like, I feel like I had to be more independent in boarding school than I have to be here, but I really appreciate it. So yeah, the one thing that is a little bit inconvenient is doing laundry, because I'm literally at this end of the college and the laundry room is like here. So if I want to do laundry, I have to take like a 7 to 10 minute walk with my laundry bag, which doesn't sound bad, and it isn't. But here's the thing. Okay, imagine it is raining and it is like 2 degrees Celsius, and you are doing that 7-minute walk with your heavy laundry bag. It is not great. So yeah, that is not that great, but honestly that is like a minor thing. And yeah, that is my review of my first term at Cambridge. It was a very intense experience, but it was also very rewarding, and I'm super grateful for having had that experience, and I'm really looking forward to second term. Although my second term is going to start with mock exams, so I do have to work over the winter break, but nonetheless I am excited for second term. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye!